So we do have some gutters missing on the home, although it looks like they've been missing for a while, but I always recommend them when they are missing. There is what's called termite mitigation systems, so termite bait stations, basically. So they're to capture termites before they get into the home. So I'd recommend having a pest control person make sure those are all good. Some hail damage to the siding. Vinyl siding is super susceptible to hail. We do have a few holes there on that side. Oops. There's a video I showed this side here, showed all the holes there. And they're mostly around windows. Damaged screen, pretty minor, just a little rip in the bottom of the screen there. A few electrical things here. So we do have a Federal Pacific panel, which is an outdated panel. They lost their safety rating. So I'd recommend having an electrician evaluate that, see if it needs replaced. Down in the basement, there's another panel. It's called a sub panel, and it's wired improperly. So the neutrals and grounds are together, and they should be separate. Pretty easy fix, but I would recommend having it done. And then also in that panel, there's what's called a double tap lug. So 2 wires under 1 screw there. So we need to each have their own. And then 2 outlets downstairs didn't have a ground. It's probably just a loose wire is what it usually is, a loose ground wire. Some examples. Yeah, that one, and then the one on the other side under that TV. And then there's one in the bathroom, reverse polarity, so the hot and neutral are hooked up backwards. So pretty easy fix, just need to pull the outlet out and then redo the wiring. Cover plate's missing, super easy, just need plate covers on the outlets. Old smoke detector down there in the basement, so I recommend putting a newer one down there. Clean and service on the furnace. It is fairly dirty inside, so I'd recommend having a clean and service done on that guy. This is the drain from the bathroom upstairs. This is in the basement. It looks like it did leak at one point. It's not leaking currently, but I'd just keep an eye on that guy, make sure it doesn't start leaking again. Improper egress, so these smaller, really high basement windows, in the case of a fire, it's hard to get out of those. So more of an informational thing that if someone is sleeping in there and there is a fire, it's going to be difficult to get out of that window. Broken counterbalance, which is here in the dining room. So this window, when you push it up, it falls back down because the spring is disconnected or broken in the side. So that'll need repaired. Super minor floor damage, one of the closets there, more cosmetic than anything. And here in the upstairs bathroom, back behind the toilet, is a little bit of black stuff there. Could be mold, there's no real way to tell without testing it. Missing trim throughout the home. It's like trim around a few window or doors, and then also baseboards are missing on upstairs and downstairs. Only partially. And then the range doesn't have what's called an anti-tip, so the range can tip forward. Mostly for little kids, if they were to climb on the door, the range could tip over. Pretty easy to add though. And then the dryer, the vent is just coiled up behind the dryer. It's not currently running to the outside, which it should, to vent all that moisture and heat from when you dry your clothes out to the outside. So need to reroute that. And then in the sewer, there is some pooling, which this video won't play in my app, but basically my camera went underwater for a few feet. So I'd recommend having a sewer guy look at that and just make sure it doesn't need a repair. And that's the last thing.